11 reasons why more cruisers than ever are denied boarding in 2025. Imagine showing up at the port, bags packed, excitement buzzing, only to be told you can't board. The ship sails away, leaving you standing there furious and heartbroken. That nightmare is happening to more cruisers than ever in 2025. Thanks to stricter regulations and simple mistakes, thousands are being denied boarding. And the worst part, most of these issues are totally avoidable. Today, we're breaking down the 11 most common reasons people get turned away this year. And I'll start with the ones even seasoned cruisers miss. Stick around because overlooking one small detail could cost you your dream trip. Reason 1, failing health protocols. Let's start with something most travelers never think will happen to them. Being turned away for health reasons. In 2025, cruise lines have ramped up health screenings like never before. It's not just about CO anymore. Many now require proof of specific vaccinations like yellow fever for cruises stopping in South America or Africa. And if you show up with flu-like symptoms, a fever, persistent cough, or even just looking visibly sick, they can deny you boarding on the spot. Here's where travelers get caught. Those pre-boarding health questionnaires, miss one, fill it out wrong, or forget to mention a recent illness. That's an instant red flag. Some cruisers get pulled aside for secondary screening. Others get flat-out refused. Pro tip, check your cruise line's health requirements as soon as you book. Keep vaccination records handy. Answer health forms honestly. And if you're feeling sick before sailing, call the cruise line immediately. A little honesty could save your trip. Reason 2, invalid travel docs or visas. This one sounds obvious, but you'd be shocked how many travelers get turned away at check-in over document issues. Picture this, you're at the counter smiling when the agent's face drops. Sorry, they say your paperwork isn't valid. Passport problems top the list. Many countries now require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months after your cruise ends. That expiration date you've been ignoring, it could leave you stranded. But here's what's really catching people off guard in 2025. Visas. New rules like the European ETA's waiver apply even for short port stops in Caribbean or Asian routes. They often need special visas depending on your nationality. The crazy part, cruise lines won't always warn you. They assume you've done your homework. I saw a family in Miami lose their vacation because their kid's passport photo didn't meet requirements. A rule buried in the fine print. Pro tip, treat your travel documents like gold. Check expiration dates. Research every port's visa rules and bring notarized letters for kids traveling without both parents. One missing paper can sink your entire trip. Music, reason 3, banned items in luggage. Here's a mistake that ruins vacations every single day. Packing something that's banned. And in 2025, the prohibited items lists have gotten longer and more surprising than ever. We all know weapons and drugs are obvious no numbers. But what about that innocent-looking power strip you pack to charge your devices? Many cruise lines now ban them outright due to fire hazards. That CBD oil that's legal in your home state, confiscated on the spot. Even certain over-the-counter medications can get you in trouble depending on the ports you're visiting. Alcohol rules trip up so many passengers. Most lines either limit you to 1 or 2 bottles of wine or ban bringing your own entirely. Try to sneak extra booze in your luggage and you might find yourself watching your ship sail away without you. Just last month, a couple in Fort Lauderdale had their entire luggage searched because of a forgotten pocket knife. They made their cruise barely, but only after missing half of Embarkation Day dealing with security. Pro tip, before you zip up that suitcase, check your cruise line's prohibited items list and check it twice. When in doubt, leave it out. It's not worth risking your entire vacation over a $10 item. Music, reason 4, blacklisted for bad behavior. Here's a hard truth about cruising in 2025. Cruise lines have zero tolerance for difficult passengers and they're cracking down harder than ever. One wrong move could get you blacklisted before you even step foot on the ship. The biggest red flag, showing up intoxicated. Security teams are specially trained to spot impaired passengers during check-in. If you're slurring your words or stumbling, they can and will deny you boarding. No exceptions, no refunds. But alcohol isn't the only deal breaker. I've seen passengers get blacklisted for screaming at check-in staff over minor issues, refusing security procedures, or even just being generally disruptive in the terminal. These days, cruise lines would rather leave you behind than risk you causing problems on board. A perfect example, last month in Galveston, a group of friends lost their $5,000 cruise because one of them got into a shouting match with a baggage handler. The entire group was denied boarding under the cruise line's group responsibility policy. Pro tip, save the party for when you're actually on the ship. Arrive sober, stay calm, and remember, your vacation starts the moment you enter the terminal. Treat staff with respect because they absolutely have the power to send you home. Reason 5, unpaid balances or old debts. This one shocks passengers because it feels like it should be impossible in the digital age. But in 2025, unpaid balances are denying more cruisers boarding than ever before. Imagine this. You arrive at the terminal, documents in hand, only to be told your reservation is on hold. Why? Because the system shows an outstanding balance from your last cruise. Maybe a disputed onboard charge you forgot about, or a final payment that didn't fully process. Here's what's new in 2025. Cruise lines have implemented aggressive automated systems that flag any financial irregularities. Even if your booking confirmation says paid in full, hidden fees like port tax adjustments or outstanding cancellation penalties can suddenly appear. Just last week, a couple in Miami was denied boarding over a $75 balance from their previous cruise 2 years ago. The worst part, they never received any notification. The first they heard about it was at check-in. Pro tip, at least 72 hours before sailing, call your cruise line to confirm your account shows a zero balance. Check for old reservations under your name and always keep payment receipts. That 5-minute phone call could save your vacation. Reason 6, late arrival. This is the heartbreaker of all boarding denials. Showing up even slightly late. In 2025, cruise lines have become absolutely ruthless about their boarding deadlines. And just 5 more minutes simply doesn't exist anymore. Here's the reality. That 90-minute pre-aperture check-in deadline isn't a suggestion. It's law. Port authorities require complete passenger manifest well before sailing, and cruise lines won't risk fines or delays for anyone. I've seen families sprinting through terminals, luggage bouncing behind them, only to watch their ship sail away from the dock. The new danger, fly cruise connections. With increasing flight delays, more passengers are missing their cruises despite booking same-day flights. Airlines might get you there eventually, but cruise ships won't wait, even if your plane is sitting on the tarmac just miles away. A tragic case from last month. A group of 12 missed their Alaskan cruise because their shuttle bus got stuck in Seattle traffic. They arrived just 17 minutes past cutoff. The ship was still docked, but boarding had closed. $28,000 down the drain. Pro tip, for Embarkation Day, plan like you're catching the last flight out during a snowstorm. Arrive the night before, book early morning flights, and aim to be at the terminal at least 3 hours early. Your vacation is worth losing a few hours of sleep. Reason 7, pregnancy or infant age limits. What should be one of life's most joyful experiences can quickly turn into a heartbreaking denial at the cruise terminal. In 2025, cruise lines have doubled down on their pregnancy and infant age restrictions, and they're enforcing them with zero flexibility. Here's the hard rule. If you're 24 weeks or more pregnant at any point during your cruise, you will be denied boarding. No exceptions. Even if you're under that threshold, most lines now require a doctor's note confirming your due date and fitness to travel, and it must be dated within a strict window, usually 2 to 4 weeks of sailing. For infants, the restrictions are even more surprising. Many cruise lines won't accept babies under 6 months old, and for longer or exotic itineraries, that minimum age jumps to 12 months. I witnessed a devastated young family turned away in Barcelona last month because their 5-month-old was just 2 weeks shy of the minimum age requirement. Pro tip: if you're expecting or traveling with little ones, email the cruise line's accessibility department before booking. Get all requirements in writing and carry multiple copies of medical documentation. These policies may seem harsh, but they're designed for everyone's safety. Reason 8: Sniffer dog detections. Here's a 2025 cruise boarding reality that's catching passengers completely off guard. Highly trained sniffer dogs now patrol embarkation areas at major ports worldwide. These aren't just looking for drugs anymore. They're detecting everything from CBD products to certain prescription medications. Picture this scene. You're waiting in line, excited for your vacation, when a dog suddenly sits next to your bag. Security swoops in, and before you know it, you're pulled aside for inspection. Even if you have nothing illegal, residual odors from previous trips or improperly packed medications can trigger alerts. The biggest shocker: many common prescriptions that are perfectly legal in your home country may violate laws at your ports of call. A passenger in Miami was recently denied boarding because their doctor prescribed pain medication contained an ingredient that is banned in the Bahamas. Pro tip: always travel with medications in their original labeled containers. Bring copies of prescriptions and research every port's medication laws and that CBD cream for your sore back. Leave it at home. It's not worth the risk. Reason 9: dress code violations. Think cruise dress codes only matter for dinner? Think again. In 2025, luxury cruise lines are enforcing strict embarkation day attire policies, turning away passengers before they even step on board for wearing the wrong clothes. We're not just talking about formal nights here. Several premium lines now require resort casual or smart casual attire just to board the ship. Show up in swimwear, flip-flops, or ripped jeans, and you might find yourself scrambling to buy acceptable clothes at portside shops if you have time before departure. The most shocking case: a group of influencers was denied boarding in Southampton last month for wearing revealing outfits deemed inappropriate for the cruise experience. Their $15,000 suite went unused because they refused to change into more modest clothing. Pro tip: check your cruise line's boarding day dress code as carefully as you pack for formal nights. When in doubt, business casual always works. Remember, your first impression starts at check-in, not when you reach your cabin. Before we reveal the final 2 reasons that are denying passengers boarding in 2025, I need to ask you a quick favor. If you're finding this information helpful, if these tips might save your future cruise vacation, please take a second to hit that like button below. This is the silent cruise killer of 2025. Local port regulations that override your cruise line's policies. While you're focused on ship rules, ports worldwide are implementing their own strict boarding requirements that can leave you stranded. The problem: these rules change constantly and vary wildly by location. Some Caribbean ports now ban certain sunscreen ingredients. Multiple Asian ports prohibit specific medications, and several European terminals have surprise luggage restrictions that differ from cruise policies. A family of 5 learned this the hard way in Greece last month when their legally packed drone was confiscated at check-in due to a port-specific ban they'd never heard about. Their dream Mediterranean cruise ended before it began. Pro tip: research every single port on your itinerary individually. Check both cruise line policies and local government travel sites. When packing questionable items, ask yourself, is this worth a $10,000 vacation gamble? Don't become another 2025 boarding denial statistic. These rules aren't meant to trick you. They're designed to keep everyone safe. A little extra preparation means you'll be sipping cocktails on deck instead of watching your ship sail away. Now, imagine boarding with confidence, knowing you've checked every box. That peace of mind is worth those extra minutes of preparation. Want to keep learning? Check out our other videos for more essential cruise tips. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.